There are new signs that former President Trump may skip next month's first primary debate. I mean, it's been rumored strongly, but his rivals, if you want to call them that, they're trailing pretty far behind. They've been jockeying to get on stage, but they have to fulfill certain requirements. Here's what longtime Trump campaign advisor Jason Miller told The Hill on NewsNation.
At the moment, President Trump has indicated that he's unlikely to participate, at least in the first two debates. I don't want to go and get too far ahead of the president. He'll ultimately make the decision, but we look very much forward to taking on Joe Biden, which is really what this race is going to be about.
And Niall Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill, joining us right now. Niall, that's exactly what it looks like. I mean, he's not giving any mistruths. Currently, President Biden is the presumed candidate, and former President Trump is the front runner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, former President Trump is a long way ahead. As you mentioned in your introduction, his so-called rivals, the most serious one, is about 30 points behind. So from that perspective, there's not a whole lot of motivation for the former president to participate in a debate. What would be the upside for him? Who, at this point in a Republican primary electorate, is going to watch a debate thinking, I don't know enough about Donald Trump yet? I mean, that number has to be close to zero, right?
Right.
So the only upside is for his rivals.
You know, and speaking of his, again, air quotes on rivals, because you have people, I guess Ron DeSantis now is about 16% voter approval. And again, it's a poll. As we've seen in this nation, polls can be less indicative of reality sometimes. I'll leave it just right there. But in terms of who else in the GOP party has a chance to really differentiate themselves by getting on the debate stage, who would you say is leading there?
I think it is those sort of second-tier candidates further back than DeSantis. So in that category, I would put Nikki Haley, Senator Tim Scott, former Vice President Pence. But this goes to, I think, our first comment here, Adrienne, which is if former President Trump isn't present, then yes, those people can make a bit of an impact. Maybe they'll hit Governor DeSantis, maybe they'll hit each other. But it's kind of difficult because the whole sense of occasion gets hollowed out if Trump isn't there. It's like a sporting event where the strongest competitor isn't competing. It becomes a less impactful occasion by its nature.
But Vivek Ramaswamy, we had this conversation on Tuesday about the fact that he's doing this very innovative thing where he is promising those who donate to his campaign to receive a pretty significant portion of the campaign fundraising, using some of his business acumen to transform the way of investing in community. Don't you think that this is going to really lead to some potential marketing for him? I mean, just getting on that debate stage, which he qualifies for now.
Yes, it certainly could do. I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy is one of those candidates who really leans into his difference. He's not a politician. He's young. He's not from the sort of orthodox background that we see in Republican primaries. Even, leans into his religion and then parallels that with the Christianity that is the religion of most Republican voters. So Ramaswamy is an interesting figure, and he is one of those people who could be elevated, you're quite right, by his presence on the debate stage. That is always what candidates hope for, because honestly, it's difficult to make an impact if you're going around Iowa talking to 50 or 100 people at a time. That's important, but it doesn't catapult you forward. A debate has some capacity to do that.
I like that you said that. A debate has some capacity to do that. With the skepticism in this nation at an all-time high, are debates really worth the time that they used to be?
It is a debate you could have about debates, Adrienne. I think that people like me in my business tend to overstate the importance of debates, honestly. In my lifetime, there have been a handful of debates that have made a real difference, a handful of moments that have had a real impact. A lot of times debates are memorable because of the gaffes people make rather than because they particularly throw a magnificent rhetorical punch. And I do think with all the different, social media, innovative ways that you can reach voters now, I think they matter even less than they did not only like 50 years ago, but 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to bring up Lyndon Johnson and like John F. Kennedy and think about the fact that that was the only way you could see them and judge them by their appearance and judge them by their, their positions. Now we have TikTok and Threads and all kinds of fun stuff.
Exactly.
Niall Stanage, thanks for being here. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.